Well, guys, I'm not in a good mood. Well, you may be wondering why. Well, first of all, Christmas is over, which I love Christmas time, and it just went by so fast. It didn't even feel like Christmas. Like, what the frick was that? Well, I mean, I guess it's probably because I live in Florida, a subtropical climate. And second of all, you see the shelf I got for Christmas? Well, you know what's supposed to be on this shelf? A book collection. No, it's supposed to be a video game collection. But guess what? All of my games and game systems are gone, except for one thing. Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers on the Nintendo GameCube. And I still have my GameCube. It's 2022, and ripping on Jester's had its karma. Like, has my worst nightmare come true or something? They're all gone! Retro video games is my life, man. I don't know how I can live without them. Like, I'm the retro gaming critic without any retro games, or the games in general. What, the no game critic? I'm the no game critic now? Get off of me, man. Oh man, I don't know, just everything's gone. I may still have the game, and this is a childhood game, and my GameCube is also from my childhood. But I'm missing everything else. My childhood DSi, that was my favorite system of all time. I just want my games back.
Hello, virtual gaming critic. Happy New Year's. Okay, get up, you crybaby, and listen to me.
What? Lester, are you the one who did all this?
Indeed. On Christmas Eve, while you and everyone was asleep, I broke into your house and stripped your home free of video games. They're all with me now.
But why? For what reason?
So you have no games to review for January. Duh.
Oh, well, joke's on you, but, I still have a game in the system for it.
What? Oh, I cleared your whole house top and bottom of games. Your downstairs living room, everything, all the presents. Forrest, why didn't you tell me you had a stash?
Stash? It's been sitting in my room this whole time. Plus, you do know I still have that copy of Barbie's Fashion Pack for the Game Boy Color that I destroyed a while ago.
Oh, well, it's not like you'd be able to review it anyways.
Well, true, but it still technically shows you had some flaws from clearing my house clean of games, because that's still technically a game.
So what? Got any more games I forgot about? I doubt it.
My NES and SNES Classic. They're downstairs. I bet you forgot to grab that.
Fine. You can have all your games back after you review that stupid Thomas and Jeremiah game.
It's Tom and Jerry.
God, out of all games, Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I mean, Tom and Jerry's. Man. God, we'll get back at you someday. Just you see. Just you see.
Well, okay then. Well, everyone, it seems Lester has stole everything from this game room. So today we will be reviewing the only game I have, and for the only system I have currently, Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers. Lester said he'd give everything back if I reviewed this game, so I guess we still have a game to review. Wasn't my original plan for this episode, but I guess we have to work with it now. And man, I've had some memories with this game. I remember all the countless hours I spent with it. So much great memories with me, my brothers, and my friends. But since this is based off of a cartoon show, I thought we'd talk about the show first. Tom and Jerry, one of the most popular and iconic cartoon shows of all time. If you don't know what Tom and Jerry is, which, if you don't, you're obviously lying. Tom and Jerry is a slapstick TV show where a cat named Tom keeps making attempts to kill and eat a mouse named Jerry. So, what is there to love about this show? Well, just look at it. This is an extremely action-packed cartoon. I love all the clever ways Tom tries to kill Jerry, and Jerry's amazing way of surviving these attacks or counter-attacking them. This is what comedy gave kids throughout the 40s and 50s. There's nothing like it. Alongside, there's also appearances of other characters like Nibbles, Spike, Tyke, Butch, and many others. If you've never seen Tom and Jerry, go ahead and check it out. This show is timeless. But now, let's get into the game by myself. In this empty room.
Ah! Get away from me, darn aliens! Get away!
Hey, calm down. You're just having flashbacks of the Super Scope episode.
Hey there, sorry about that.
Well, anyways, look who has resurrected out of thin air for an episode.
Well, seems like someone's trying to leave me out of another review. Private, you're gonna need me for this review, because you know you suck at fighting games. You can't even fight for crap.
Well, I'm good at this fighting game, plus that was real life.
No, you don't! You suck at the game! You suck at the game so bad you try sucking the game!
Hey, no I don't. Plus, I don't mind you being in this review. Just calm down and let's play the game. Released in 2002 from the Nintendo GameCube, Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers is a fighting game where you play as Tom and Jerry characters, fighting other characters from the show. Just so you know, this game is going to be better than the Nintendo 64 game, Tom and Jerry Fist of Fury, which looks pretty similar to this game we're looking at. Anyways, there are 3 options to choose in this game: Challenge, Quick Game, and Tournament. Like always, we'll start with the first option, Tournament. Nah, I'm just kidding. Challenge mode. In challenge mode, you go against 5 different characters in 5 unique environments that have been seen in episodes of Tom and Jerry. For example, the kitchen scene in most of the Tom and Jerry episodes, the cruise ship scene in Cruise Cat, and many other stages. To start the game, you will first have to choose a character. More characters can be unlocked by beating the opponents with certain characters in challenge mode. I already have all characters, and I'm not going to delete my memory card for this video. Don't even try me. I've spent hours on this game in my childhood. In the game, you will combine using regular attacks like kicking, punching, and ground pounding to defeat your opponents, but also used items like the characters use in the show to make things a little more interesting. The game controls quite well thanks to the amazing GameCube controller. Attacks are responsive, and you get some nice combos. As you and your opponents fight, both your bars will go up next to your character. This is the Berserk bar, which once it's filled, you click Z and will enter Berserk mode. Berserk mode turns characters red and allows you to deal extra damage when you attack and take less. This bar is filled up by taking damage and taunting your enemy by also pressing Z when you don't have Berserk mode already. But be careful, taunting will leave you vulnerable to attacks, and opponents are always doing what they can to attack you. So be careful. You never know when Jerry's gonna chuck a chair at you. And to be honest, I suck at fighting games. I don't know why, but I was just never good at them. But this game is really easy once you learn the controls, which takes no time at all. To some people, the fact of how easy this game is may push them to not really liking this game, or to even buy it. But I don't see why someone wouldn't like this. Like, when characters' butts catch on fire and they start running around. And the taunting can be hilarious, like Bush's taunting laugh. Slapstick shows and fighting games are like peanut butter and jelly. They go really great together, because slapstick shows are about characters harming each other, and so are fighting games. Man, let's see really how great they go together. Oh! God, it tastes like Spike's anus. And by the way, I don't think this game was made easy so kids could play it easier. Since this game wasn't marketed to young kids, it was marketed towards teenagers because of the mild violence and comic mischief. So, Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers gets a teen rating game, while Call of Duty Big Red 1 also gets a teenager rating, even though it's far more worse because you're literally blowing up Nazi's head off using guns, while in Tom and Jerry you're just fighting each other and just smacking each other with like beer bottles. My god, they got it all messed up. Call of Duty Big Red One should be an M rating. But some characters can be a bit challenging, like Jerry. He's very quick, and him being a small target can make it harder to attack him. There's also one character called Robocat that just keeps spinning in a circle, creating fire trolls that goes for 10 whole seconds. This character took the longest to beat. He is so annoying. He never won any matches or anything. I just had to wait this level out because he won't stop using his fiery spin attack. And once he does it, you can't do anything about it. He just stays there. You can keep trying to ground pound him, but you'll only hurt yourself by catching on fire. And guess what? You have to fight this guy for 3 rounds. Every environment has their different hazards in the game. For example, in that sinking feeling, you have a Kraken that tries to take over the ship. In Snowfight, you have a snow avalanche that will consume the area, and so on and so forth. So yeah, just defeat the levels in challenge mode as a different character to unlock more characters, and you're set. So now let's check out Quick Game. Most of my time on this game was spent here. In Quick Game, 4 characters can go against each other, or 2 or 3. You play against either CPU or your friends. You can make teams or just have a full-out free-for-all, which is the funnest. You can also wear costumes obtained from smashing certain objects with the right character. I don't know which objects though, because I beat this game a while ago, and I don't really remember what I did to get them. The fighting is now a little more challenging since you have 3 opponents going after you. Everyone's throwing objects and everyone's taunting each other.
Heck yeah, now this really is War of the Whiskers.
Oh no, it's back, the War of the Whiskers is back, it's the end of the world!
Jesus Christ, you've been in every war known to existence, and this one is the most traumatizing to you? Hey Critic, I think you should let the old man review the game with you. I'll leave.
Are you crazy? I wouldn't even touch that game, even if I got $1 million. I don't want to have another heart attack. I've experienced it all. I'm out of here.
In a team-based Quick Game, you can assign the characters of each teams and make fights you would see in the show, like Tom and Bush versus Jerry and Nibbles, or make things a little more interesting by doing Tom and Jerry versus Bush and Nibbles.
Nibbles? More like... Nibble these nipples. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh, you think you're funny?
Oh. Jeez, man, what was that for?
There's also a cheat menu that you can use to unlock stuff in the game without actually doing what is needed to unlock the features you don't have yet. So that's Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers, everyone. It's a very fun and humorous game. I think it's great. Now let's get into the scoring. For those of you who are new to this series, here's the score system. Games that have no story will be scored as following. The graphics are scored 0 to 10, music and audio 0 to 20, replay value 0 to 25, gameplay 0 to 30, and controls 0 to 35. This all adds up to 120 points total. I give the graphics and visual appearance of Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers an 8 out of 10. The environment looks very nice and brightness really fits the mood of it. Some things look a little plain though, for example, the menu. It just looks very dull. I give the music and audio for Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers an 18 out of 20. Well, it's jazz, enough said. The menu theme is just so nostalgic to me as well. I give the replay value of Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers a 20 out of 25. I think most fighting games have a great replay value. Maybe you're trying to get better at the game or move as well, adapting to how other players controls, or playing with a friend. Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers features a lot, though the fights aren't really that challenging, so it gets boring after a while, so you might want to play with a friend. I give the gameplay and features of Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers a 20 out of 30. Like I said, the game is really easy. There's only a little bit of challenge sometimes, but for a game marketed towards teenage audience, it's way too easy. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay is still alright. You have a bunch of objects to use on other players like you get to in Smash Bros. Games, you have a bit of maps to choose from, and the humor is spot on. Lastly, I give the controls for Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers a 32 out of 35. Combos seem to really happen to me when I try to execute them for some reason, and the bots get to use them the most on me. I don't know why it doesn't work for me, I've really tried, it just rarely happens. But the controls are also good since, well, the GameCube controller, enough said. So with everything all added up, we get the total score of 98 out of 120, giving us an 82% and the letter grade of a B-. So there you have it. You had the review, you had your scoring. Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers it's a really simple and easy game, but I still think it's great. If you're not really liking fighting games that are too easy, maybe don't get it. But if you love Tom and Jerry and you want to have a game that has its humor, go for this game. It's really fun. I spent a lot of time on it. I still play it to this day to get a chuckle out of it. So yeah, well that wraps everything up, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace out. Well, Lester, I reviewed the game. Are you gonna give me my games back? Hey, relax. I'm sure you'll get them back soon. Are you kidding me? How do you think I'm supposed to relax when Lester has all of my games? I don't want to be the no game critic, man. I don't have my childhood DSi anymore or its games. I can't spend all that money again, man. That was 2 years I spent building that up. Just shut up! You'll get it back! Oh, don't you tell me to shut up. You would be the exact same way I am if you were me. You know what? I've had enough of your complaining. Take these boxing gloves and let's fight. Oh, well, since you challenged me, might as well carry that out. Alright, let's get it on! Oh!